Siapa yang nggak tahu film Passion of the Christ atau Hacksaw Ridge? Film-film terkenal itu dibuat oleh Mel Gibson. Banyak di internet lah ya, dia punya banyak film juga, dia jadi aktor, jadi yang buat film juga. Dan ternyata di Kebakaran yang kemarin, rumahnya kena ludes abis. Dan ini dia kesaksiannya, apa yang dia mau omongin, bahkan ada hal-hal yang kontroversi. Langsung aja kita dengerin.
Joining us now, actor and Academy Award-winning director Mel Gibson, an old friend, a Malibu resident who tragically just lost his home to the Palisades fire. Mel, I was thinking about you when I saw this fire break out. I think I talked to Raymond. I said, is Mel okay? Is his family okay? I instantly thought of you. He said he thought you were okay. And I'm glad you got out. I'm glad your family is safe. But tell us what it was like to be on Rogan's podcast when I guess you learned that your home had been lost.
Well, I didn't learn it was lost. I knew the neighborhood was on fire, then I was in the path. So I was a little tense while I talked to Joe, but he's a guy that can put you at your ease fairly well. So I was doing okay. And I knew that my family was safe and out of harm's way.
Were you able to get possessions that, of course, are really immaterial when you have your family, but I've been to your house. It was an incredible home, beautiful home. But were you able to get anything out of your house?
Not much. A few necessary things. You know, my son I said, just go and grab this and this and this. And he grabbed like 3 things and took off. And then, you know, those are okay. Stuff like passports and a couple of papers and stuff like that. But by and large, everything was just, it looked, when I got there the other day, I went up there yesterday, it looked like Dresden, you know, after Bomber Harris got through with it. Yeah.
Mel,
so nothing left.
For those of us watching this from afar, try to convey to us the feeling of seeing your home, your neighbors' homes, and the community there at such a loss.
I mean, it's tragic. It makes you really sad. I was actually, you know, there are neighbors I have that I was actually looking at them. I felt worse for them than I did for myself. You know, I look at it as a strange mixture of sadness and almost kind of an elation in a sense that I count my blessings, you know, no matter what. These are things, and they may or may not be replaceable, but they're only things, and we're still here, and I just kind of look at it as almost in a weird kind of way a purification but of course it's very sad, and there were many things, you know, gone in the blaze that, you know, works of art, photographs, rare books, you know, old books, some as old as, you know, 1600, you know, it's like crazy.
Irreplaceable.
And irreplaceable stuff, yeah. So it is what it is, I guess. It was only a month ago that the flames threatened us, you know, 200 meters away on the other side. And of course the wind shifted and it came in and whipped and got us from the other direction, so.
You've heard a lot of people say a lot of things about these fires. Obviously the winds were horrific. But they were predicted. I know you know that last weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they said this could be tragic with these winds if any fire starts.
Sure.
Do you believe in what you know so
wind is
far,
up the Santa Ana.
anything could have happened like this?
Yeah, well, one always suspects that this might happen, but one thinks that the resources, you know, and the capabilities of the men and women will be on standby, that they'll be able to cope with any situation that comes up. But apparently some people were asleep on the job, mainly our leaders there. But, you know, that's something they have to live with. And but that's something that community has to live with. And it's really sad. I mean, I have many friends that are, you know, looking for a place to put a roof over their heads. And kids, and, you know, they're traumatized. So, someone should answer for it, but we'll see. I think we know who the culprits are. In fact, my son he's a member of the volunteer fire brigade. He sort of interfaces between LA County Fire and people, and they assist them where they can during, before, and after the blaze. And apparently the residents in Corral Canyon caught an arsonist up there. And the guy was all tooled up with fire gear and equipment and stuff like that, and ready to go. And he had been lighting fires, but they corralled the guy in Corral Canyon and gave him to the police. So
Yeah,
there are
apparently
people
that
actively going around looking for these conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, Mel, that individual was never charged. It's a very confusing set of facts because apparently he was reportedly trying to light things on fire, but it's not the fires, I guess, that they. I mean, it all seems very bizarre. But they have not ruled out that arson could have started the first fire. There's obviously still investigating this, and at the same time, Mel, there are numerous complaints, as you alluded to, that the fire hydrants did not have water or water pressure, and the LA fire chief herself reacted. Watch this.
My stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants.
Mel, reaction to that?
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be? You know, I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Well, Mel, there's already talk, and we played a couple of sound bites of reimagining the way rebuilding occurs. And obviously there's a great need for high-density housing in California and across the country. That's a big push by the climate folks. And you're already hearing rumblings of that. In this case, like goodbye single-family homes, hello high-density housing.
Yeah. It's pretty scary, and it'll take decades to do that too. It's like even if it, you know, if it's a good idea, which I don't know if it is, but reminds me of the old cattle barons clearing people off the land, you know. But I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else. But it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water, and and that the wind conditions were right, and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions, Mel. Mel, I'm so glad that you're okay. You've helped me in times of crisis. When I was going through cancer, I will never forget. You called me and gave me really great words of wisdom about treatment, and you were so fabulous all those years ago, 20 years ago, actually. And so I thought about you.
Man.
It was 20 years ago. That's how long I've known you. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a long time. Yeah. We've not aged at all.
You're doing it up here. You're doing that up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
20. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little gray.
Yeah. No, not you. Mel, I'm so glad you're okay. Thank you for reminding us that our spiritual life sustains us in these very, very challenging, difficult, tragic times.
Ya, jadi ternyata waktu kebakaran itu terjadi, waktu semuanya mungkin belum ludes abis ya, belum kena sama rumahnya, dia itu lagi ada di podcastnya Joe Rogan. Nah, lagi di podcast dan ya terjadilah kebakaran itu. Banyak pendapat, banyak asumsi, bahkan mungkin orang-orang bisa bilang ini konspirasi, seperti ada yang sengaja, ada yang dengan well equipped udah mempersiapkan segala sesuatu, tinggal tunggu anginnya pas, oke kita nyalain, semua akan kesebar. Dan ada yang mereka tangkap 1 orang tapi nggak tahu kelanjutannya seperti apa. Tapi buat Mel Gibson itu kayak terlalu jelas gitu loh. Masa ada pemadam datang dan ada water hydrant, tahu water hydrant ya, yang di pinggir-pinggir jalan biasa ada kayak untuk air, sediain air gitu. Jadi pemadam kebakaran datang tinggal colokin di situ selangnya, udah bisa langsung tembak air segala macam. Nah, itu waternya kosong katanya, airnya kosong. Nah, entahlah apa yang terjadi, segala konspirasi muncul. Tapi terlepas dari itu semua, kita nggak tahu. Yang kita tahu tadi Mel Gibson bilang, aku menghitung berkatku. I count my blessing. Bukan artinya kita menghitung-hitung di hadapan Tuhan, bukan. Artinya begini, sudah terlalu banyak berkat yang aku terima daripada Tuhan. Oke, barang-barang yang habis itu mungkin ada barang-barang berharga, tapi ya still itu barang-barang fana. Itu hanyalah barang-barang benda-benda yang fana. Lebih baik persiapkan hati diri kita ini yang akan masuk ke kehidupan kekal setelah ini. Nah, pertanyaannya, kalau kita yang ada di posisi dia, kita siap gak untuk terima itu? Kita bisa bilang gak, ya berkat Tuhan tuh udah banyak buat aku. Berkat Tuhan cukup, penyertaan Tuhan cukup buat aku. Meskipun banyak kehilangan, aku tetap mau bilang Tuhan Yesus baik. Count your blessing, hitung berkatmu, betapa baiknya Tuhan dalam hidupmu. Lihat ke belakang, bersyukur sama Tuhan. Wah, tahun 2024, tahun 2023, tahun ini 2025, bahkan tahun-tahun ke depannya. Bahkan sebelum-sebelumnya, Tuhan begitu baik buatmu. Banyak banget berkatnya yang mungkin kamu nggak sadar, bahkan yang sadar. Apakah itu nggak cukup bikin kita bersyukur sama dia? Dan untuk terakhir, Mel Gibson ini mau bikin, ya sedang mengerjakan ya, sequel dari Passion of the Christ, film yang kita semua juga tahu. Ada sequelnya, ada kelanjutannya, yaitu Passion of the Christ Resurrection, kebangkitan. Kita tunggu saja, mungkin tahun depan, semoga ya kita bisa lihat di layar lebar. Itu aja untuk video kali ini, semoga memberkati. God bless you.